Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am BorderWise and welcome back to From the Depths. Battleship Diary, unexpectedly. You thought it was over and so did I, but turns out we were both wrong. Because upgrades need to happen, and thankfully have happened and are in the process of happening. So the Titanslang, my baby, my big beautiful bouncing baby, that is also a giant-ass battleship, had a few weaknesses that became readily apparent in all the combat testing we did. So there's a whole sequence of videos on the channel showing the Titanslang squaring off against big bad battleships. Of particular note is the collab I did with Gmodism, hello Gmodism, against his Draconia. And yeah, so the Titanslang did pretty well in most of her fights, but she has a few glaring, obvious weaknesses, which are, well, a little embarrassing, actually. Alright, so the biggest one is the engines. The big steam engine, which was so kindly provided for me by, I forget who did it, but they are awesome and cool and deserve all the pizza and beer, or whatever beverage they choose. The problem with that is that it's big and prone to critical operation failure, let's call it. Basically, it gets hit in the right spot, the whole thing is rendered useless, and the Titanslang will just pretty much sink because she relies both on forward propulsion and upward props in order to stay above the water. So, if the engine gets taken out, just at any point, if the main crankshaft of the big steam engine gets hit, that's it, she's done. And that is a major weakness. So a bunch of people were telling me that I needed to fix that, and you're absolutely right. And another weakness is that the guns, the main turrets, didn't make effective use of space, so they were kind of diamond-shaped because I'm lazy like that. And people have said to me many times, or mostly nicely, sometimes not so nicely, that I need to get the hang of round turrets. Well, I have, and so the turrets have been upgraded. And what was the third thing? That's basically it, really. So, yeah, it's basically to do with power and performance, and I guess one more, objection you could have to the Titanslang is just, that she was a little bit wasteful, a little bit inefficient with her main guns, because giant as pen depth crams do so much kinetic damage that it's very easy for that kinetic damage to be wasted. It's highly likely to overpenetrate something, it's highly likely to basically not fulfill its maximum penetration potential before the time after impact fuse detonates the shell, and so it's, like, beyond a certain size, it's kind of wasteful. So, first thing I want to talk about is that they're now hollow points. So, I went back and forth. Man, I actually did a decent job with this horrible-looking snake thing. But anyway, so I went back and forth a lot over whether to switch her main crams to hollow points. The smart thing to do would actually be change these crams to be two-gun systems, so two separate cram systems on each turret, twin crams, and be one penetration and one hollow point, and then you get the best of both worlds. I have not done that because I'm lazy. Motivated, but lazy, so as you can see, the numbers on screen. AP is not great, it's decent enough, though, to do a decent thump, and it does almost 300,000 impact damage, which means it tends to rip jagged holes in pretty much anything it touches. It does horrible things to turrets. If it hits the barrel of a gun, that barrel, and usually the firing piece as well, just gets shook out of existence. And there's a little bit of explosive damage just for flavor, and so it can kind of vaporize anything delicate the shell happens to land near, within about a 16 meters radius. But prize place comes to the fragments, 45-degree angle, over 100k damage per frag, and that's its penetration, so to speak. So the idea is that the hollow point head makes a big hole, and the fragments spray through it, and this is generally more reliable against things that block spam. So things like the Turtle Lord, I don't think that Titanslang can ever take on the Turtle Lord, because the Turtle Lord is too Turtle Lordy. It's better against things like the Draconia, actually, which inspired this change, because stuff which has either large air gaps or just thick, cheap ablative armor, so to speak. Stuff using a lot of wood or stone or reinforced wood or something like that tends to foil pen depth shells a bit. So this is too stupid to fool, and it's more of a side grade than an upgrade, really, but it is somewhat more efficient, I feel, and also a little bit more reliable, because if the shell hits, it's going to do a big thump, and it's going to take blocks off. It's not going to, like, waste damage through overpenetration, or, you know, not hitting in a good spot. If it hits something, it's going to tear blocks off, brute force style, no subtlety. And the APS is a slightly smaller gauge, because I had to fiddle around with it once I actually mounted it on the Titanslang. And I have made these laser turrets bigger, but they're still as badly designed as they ever were. So I'm just going to show you that quickly. You go there, and you warp out of existence. And here are our little fortresses to show off what I've done. So I have a fondness for genuinely round turrets, and perhaps I shouldn't. It's not the smartest idea, but I just like a turret that looks good, even if you don't see it. Like, I've found I have an appetite for them. So, strictly speaking, you don't need to take round turret literally. You, like, the way block collision works in front of the devs with sub-objects is that the origin point of the block is the only thing that's calculated. So, if I have a 2-meter beam, that point which the beam rotates around is basically the bit that's gonna collide and, you know, catch on stuff if it's on a turret, so to speak. So I could do this, and I could replace all these 2-meter slopes with 4-meter beams, and this would still work fine, but that would be hideous, and I would feel bad, so I haven't done that. The Tetris is also more material efficient, if not more volume efficient, because it is 6-connection 3D Tetris, so there is a lot in here. So each one of these big hardener pellets and the frag pellets, they've got 6 connections, max amount you can do, so it's all much more efficient. And you'll notice the turret is a lot bigger. So this, I guess, Mark II Titanslang, because there's something in me that doesn't want to, like, save this over the old blueprint. At the very least, not yet, because I am going to fight them against each other in this video. Spoiler alert, but yeah, you probably could guess that. But yeah, so this is more, it takes up more space, but it's using the space it has more effectively for less material per firepower, and it's all very nice. And that nice brute force hollow point is super good. So here's exactly the same size, the main APS turret. This is actually a slightly bigger gauge because I suspect I messed with the shell back in the day. So when I was designing this, and then yeah, I guess I just forgot about it. I actually did these before my computer broke and I had to rebuild it. So yeah, it was been a while since I've even looked at these. But yeah, it works better now. And as for the laser turrets, they're also bigger. They've been made more round. And apologies to the laser people, they're still horribly expensive with these frequency doublers. But on the bright side, they have a very high AP, and so they tend to scratch straight, even through smoke and shields. They still tend to knock blocks off, which is pretty dope. So that's nice. And now, let us hide these things from existence. My new PC is good, but it's not that good. I don't want to push it too hard. But as for the engines, before we talk about the engines, we have to talk about the LAM system. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, so we need redundant engines. We need redundant engines, but I'm not sure how to make anything more powerful than that steam engine that is already in there. We need to match the whole deal. The answer, as it turns out, is just a lot of the power is being taken up by the LAMs. And yes, the LAMs is pretty good, it's pretty big, it's pretty effective. But an easy way of just making a LAMs still roughly as effective as it was while using this power is just add more storage. So, and given, so about half the length of this LAMs has now been taken up by laser storage cavities instead, which means it does not charge very quickly at all, but it stores a huge amount of power, which is quite neat actually. It means that I've basically halved the power requirements of this LAMs. Arguably, it's weaker because it doesn't recharge as quickly. But I have noticed that at the very first volley, which is the one that counts, by the way, this does a significantly better job of just frying the first volley of whatever it is. And no wasted damage, because this is a continuous lambs. I pretty much always use continuous lambs because I'm just weird like that, I guess. Ooh, there's extra space in here. I could have stuck fun and activities. Okay, so that's the lambs, and you've probably already noticed the engines, for which I do declare I am almost certainly going to hell for. This engine is something that I actually came up with in the compartmentalization experiments I was doing. So I did a video the other day talking about, like, okay, what can you jam in a 3x3 compartment? Just, like, without anything feeding into or out of it. So this, this fuel engine is an injector engine, so let's actually gonna go hop up on deck, and I'm going to show you this engine because I have prefabbed it. It looks like this. It is very simple, incredibly inefficient, and probably in all the important ways very bad. But, it's got the generator, crankshaft, 3 cylinders, 4 injectors. It does a stable power of 1900, which is not bad for a 3x3x3 space, and it's cooled entirely through these big-ass radiators that are onto it. So that just works very well for just thinking, screw it, I just need to spam engine into the space. Probably will have to replace these at some point because this is horrendous efficiency. I'm talking like the, let's see here, the power per material is genuinely awful. Like, this is really bad. This is like it's like 1.6 power per material. That's awful, but the power per volume is actually pretty decent. So, but yeah, the main advantage of this is that you don't have to worry about exhausts, which means you don't have to potentially create weak points in the engine compartment by threading exhaust out through it. So yeah, there's my excuse. This works. It probably doesn't work very well, and of course it burns through materials like no one's business. It's a good thing the T-Starly has such big reserves of materials, because that new engine is probably worse than the old engine in every single way, except redundancy. So let me show you what I'm talking about. In the combat testing I've been doing with these, this basically Mark II Titanslang, she has not suffered a sinking despawn even once, and that is because every one of these 3x3 blocks, actually I could stick even more of them in here. I could stick another rack of them in there. Why didn't I do that? Oh well, I guess I'm silly. But yeah, so these guys, each one of these engines, so if, say that gets vaporized, that's fine. There's still a whole bunch of others. In fact, there's slightly more than they need. It's actually got the same kind of power levels as it did before, when the steam engine was in and when it needed all of it for the big hungry lambs. But now, it can take a railgun straight through this engine compartment and it just does not care. It just keeps chugging. So, From the Depths is beautiful like that, is that sometimes designing things badly can be a good idea, because you'd be hard-pressed to manage the same kind of redundancy and power, like, in this space if you don't do something stupid like this. Like, I'm sure there's people out there who can do it, but have no idea how else you would do it. So, that works for now. Is, like I said, I'm going to engine designer hell for doing this. But, one point in my favor is that you'll notice that these engines are rotated, so they're in a pattern, so the radiators do not connect with each other, because when I first was putting them in here, radiators connect to each other from the side. So from the bottom, they connect to crankshafts, and on the sides they connect to each other. So if I do this, you can see that, okay, that's not ideal. But yeah, they fit together like this, which means that in order to get those engines to be nice and independent of each other, I have to rotate them, alternating. So that is, I know, I guess not genius, but just like, aha, here's a problem, I fixed it now. And hello, I have not put sufficient stuff in here. I can put more stuff in here. Yeah! Now we have even more... Like I said, I could put another 5 of these little horrible injectors in, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. It doesn't really need it. It's already overkill. Deliberate overkill. So yeah, rough and ready upgrades. The Sea Whiz guns I haven't touched because they're pretty much okay. Let's see, what else have I done? Have I done anything of note here? Aha! That's something. This is something I did very early on, is that I thought that these little laser transmitters would be safe down here in the underbelly of the ship. No! As it turns out. They can be destroyed quite easily by anything hitting below the waterline. And so I have wrapped these transceivers just in a little stopgap layer of heavy armor, just so they don't get destroyed easily. Like, it's not best defense, but it will do. They're more survivable than they were. And let's show you the block count, actually. So the block count is now 52,343, so block count has gone up. Price has also, I think, gone up a little bit. Let's just compare this quickly. I just want to save this. So let's check again. 7,985 versus 182,800. It's actually slightly cheaper. Never mind, I'm full of nonsense. Okay, so I also camo specifically just so I can tell which one is which when I test this against the OG Titanslang. So, firstly, I'm gonna, probably save this thing as the Titanslang Mark II, just because. But we should combat test this thing. So, out of the 3 fights I had, like, off-camera against the OG Titanslang, this thing won 2 of them, and, like, pretty significantly. Just the ones it won significantly, 80% sinking despawn on the OG Titanslang just within 4 minutes, and then just within 5 minutes it just ripped it to pieces because it just got lucky cram shots on the turrets and, destroy the firing pieces with just sheer brutal frag and hollow point, which is pretty dope. And the one it lost was about 10 minutes protracted slugfest in which it didn't sink, which is the important thing, which means it was a successful test at the very least. So I'm going to hop into the designer and I'm going to, the custom battle thing, fight this against its old design and probably save it as the Mark II, whether it wins or not. But yeah, I think we're going to do that. I will see you there! Alrighty, so here we are in the custom battle. To our right is the redesign, new turrets, new lamps, new engine, and on our left is the OG Titanslang, and hopefully the new one demonstrates what she's capable of. I should also mention as well that I started recording this video earlier and realized I hadn't replaced the laser turrets on the redesign. On the upgraded Titanslang. So I quickly did that, and I think I don't remember because it was a while ago, but I think I've messed with the Sea Whiz controllers on that, so they're more proactive in shooting things down. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. So, away we go. Yep, way more proactive. Which could be a significant difference, because it means that incoming cram shells are going to get shot at. Yeah, so it's currently not looking great for the redesigned Titanslang. Never mind, this is exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, so if it hits a turret dead on, and if it hits the barrel, she makes a horrible mess of it, so that's important. And I think damaging incoming cram shells is going to be a huge, huge advantage, because they do less damage when they do that. So that didn't do a hell of a lot, but it made a beautiful mess. What is this going to do? This might hurt a lot. Yep, that did hurt a lot. So this is the thing with pen depth, is that actually that didn't do as much as I thought it would. I guess damaging those shells does make a difference. But, what was I talking about? Yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. I'm too excited. Uh-oh, that one of those turrets is definitely disabled on the new one. Wouldn't that be perfect? Oh yeah, now I know what I was talking about. Redesign's not doing very well. This is significant lag. Probably because I'm recording this at the same time. Of course. Of course. You gotta make a fool of me, game. You gotta make a fool of me. Hey, degraded mode. I've really got to need to get a game encoder or something. Ooh, boy. Here I was hoping there wouldn't be significant lag. I guess recording does a lot. Oh, boy. What is that shell gonna do? And there goes a little turret. I think once a bit of range is established, looks like... Yep. Oh boy. This is embarrassing. If the upgraded one loses, I'm gonna feel very silly. It depends on whether those hollow points can get lucky. Did they get lucky? They did not. Although, wait a minute. The damage gap is closing a little bit. Okay, what was I trying to say with the... Alright, so the thing with AP shells is that you're likely to get lucky with them. And what I mean by that is that if you hit in the right spot, you get spectacular results, as opposed to the less spectacular but more reliable things like, I don't know, chemical shells, hollow points, and stuff like that. I think just burning off the damage of those incoming shells is, like, actually helping a lot. Also making a mess of the superstructure. I might be talking out of my hat here. This is still a pretty even fight. Let's follow the OGT Stali for a second. Yeah, that was a problem. But the health gap is closing. It is definitely actually, like, I actually really want the new version to win. It'd be so... Whoa, yep, that was a good hit. Oh, but looks like that T-Style, like... There's nothing quite like... Whoa, hello. Nothing quite like fighting your own design to make you realize that, oh, you actually kind of did do a good job. And I think those upgraded lasers are, might be making a bit of a difference. Uh-oh. Oh, wow, they're even. No, the Titanslang just, OG Titanslang just dropped. She just lost her lead. Not by much, but she lost it a bit. Nope, and she's got it back. She has got it back. Very much depends. Partially, a fair amount on luck, really. What did that do? Because OG Titanslang, the split second she... whoop, that looks pretty dangerous. The split second her engines go, she's gonna stop and she's gonna sink. The new one doesn't have that problem. new one just loves being shot in the engines, just doesn't care. I mean, I say that. Watch me get proven wrong. Maybe I should stick with pen depth. What did that do? It's always a matter of, like, who can disable the other one's guns first, is the question. I love how they cruise, like, towards each other and then away from each other, kind of sidewinding back and forth. I think the new lasers are actually going to carry this. Very even fight. Very even. What did that do? That proceeded to... This is the thing about Doomfrag that is quite nice, is that it is poking holes through right into these compartments. Just gentle holes. It's not getting in there and tearing stuff up like a pen depth shell would do. But it's... Okay, those lasers, though. Okay, yep. Jeez. Calm down. Whoa. Yeah, I think just the upgrade... the bigger lasers on new T-Stali, the Mark II, I think those are just possibly the most significant change here. Wow. Even with getting a turret shot down, she might win this. And it doesn't, like... I'm gonna keep hammering the point. It doesn't matter if her engines... if she takes a shot to the engine compartment, because, like, she can survive that. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's see here. Oh, there's Degraded. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Degraded mode is here again. Yeah, look at that. It's just bit by bit. It is just shutting those down. High likelihood of just... Oh, wow. That looked painful. Where did that go? Alright, that... Yep. Shutting things down. That actually works really well with the lasers, because those hollow points... they don't go deep, but they do make nice big holes that allows the APS. And, oh, wow. That's a very... That's a very damaged turret to chuck out a shell like that. I think the new one's gonna win. Hope the new one's gonna win. Once a certain amount of firepower is lost, it is game over. Let's see here. What happened there? What happened there is that, yeah, the OG T-Stali I don't think is gonna win this. Her lead's been lost. She's missed her chance. She has missed her chance. And there goes... What did that do? Yep, the APS is down. And let's follow that shell. Those lasers are actually doing a really good job in shutting down cramfire. Damn, I should have... I used to mock Sea-Wiz lasers. I used to mock them. You learn something every day. Yeah, the new T-Stali is now getting a significant lead. Yeah, 6%, and it's growing. Let's see what these lasers are doing. I think these lasers are doing... Oh yeah, those lasers are getting right in there. It's more effective combined arms by the looks of it. Oh, someone's tilting. Someone's tilting. Wow, I went from making missile cruisers in disguise to making laser cruisers in disguise. Wow, those lasers do not... Whoa, they do not care. They are just tearing through the side armor there. Looks like the smoke got disabled. Or shot out of the... shot to pieces. Yep. And what did that do? That made a nice big hole for everything else. Wow, this is an attrition fight, and it looks like Holopoint has the advantage in that because it just makes big holes. It just makes big ass holes, and it slightly disables a lot of things. Oh wow, that turret got repaired actually. it slightly disables a bunch of things instead of just trying to cripple things. I'm not talking very well, but this is exciting. This is so exciting. My designs are beating each other up. Yeah, once the holes are getting right in. Yeah, that turret's not long for this world. Also, weirdly enough, on the Starly Mark II, that APS, this main APS turret, seems to either survive a lot better, or just the hollow points are so good at taking out the APS gun, like on the old Titanslang. That it's interesting. It's interesting and weird. But yeah, this fight is not going the way. Is not making OGT Starly a happy gal. She's lost her lasers, her lambs. I think her lambs is crippled. Yep, she's losing power. And now the difference that those Sea-Whiz lasers are making is like, it's funny. I didn't really set them up, and like, yeah, against things like superstructure, those hollow points are no joke because they're like, oh, is there not much here? All right, we're gonna get rid of all of it. We're not gonna overpin. We're not gonna muck about. And just you see, oh, mwah, upgrades. These upgrades are worth it. Upgrades are so worth it. Whew. I think she's gonna do a bit better than she did against the Draconia. Yeah. Whoa. Yep. So yeah, she's staying above 80% health while taking on the old Titanslang, which is no joke. No joke. She might actually do worse against, against the BBS 5th season, because those shells lack penetrating power. But at the same time, if they hit the turret cap, they're gonna put a sizable dent in it. And if it hits a soft spot, jeez, it's gonna make a huge mess. It's gonna make a huge mess. Jeez, yeah, the lasers are in there and they're getting rid of steam pistons like it's... not pistons, what's it? I forget. Something stupid, alright. Yep, and huge chunk of deck gone. And T-Starly has lost power. And T-Starly is sinking, so yay! Got on camera. New one is better and like significantly better. It was touch and go there in the beginning just because it's the nature of ships which are very similar in cost, but it looks like the turret upgrades and the redundant engine compartment has paid massive dividends because the old T-Starly like is demonstrating exactly one of her weaknesses, is that she sinks. She sinks quite noticeably. Yeah, maybe this is... Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll save it. I want to keep the old T... Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Why did I decide to bugger off? Like... Wow. Why did I decide to do that? Why did I decide to go hang out with Rambot? Rambot doesn't know anything. Rambot just Deacon's hell. Are you in space? Nope. It's just to do with the draw distance and stuff. Well then, we missed the disintegration. Oh well. But anyway, oh boy, FTD still does this. Not you. Not you either. So let's look at our upgraded Titanslang. She actually held up pretty well. Like, it was all on her starboard side the fight happened, and yeah, she got some chunks bitten out of her, but yeah, she survived. Her weapon system survived pretty well. Yeah, that was a problem. This cram cannon, I think, was still doing significant damage, even with half of it missing. So, hooray for crams being strong. yeah, this is just goes to show you what pen depth crams are capable of. This is pretty much mostly intact. Thank goodness for that heavy armor belt. I tried experimenting with removing the heavy armor belt to give her more buoyancy, and that just didn't work. Look at this. Look at this. This would have probably outright crippled the old Titanslang, just getting shots this deep in here. New one doesn't care. And look at this. It's like these engine compartments just got, like, flattened. Just destroyed completely. Like, not a care in the world. She just kept chugging on. I mean, expensive to fix, but oh boy, yeah. And like, AI compartment got threatened. Not threatened enough, though. So yeah, wow. She, like, that's certainly got better redundancy. So yeah, that's the new T-Stali. And so yeah, looking forward to fighting this against Gmodism's upgraded Draconia and just against future stuff, which would be really cool. Not the Turtle Lord. The Turtle Lord will still win. I already know that. So, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Support me on Patreon or YouTube membership if you like. It really helps, and there's fun perks in it for you. Thank you to all my current supporters, and I will see you next time in From the Depths. Farewell.